Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I'd do another little dressmaking series lesson. Something really simple. It's just how to top stitch pockets on using a rolled hem on the top and then how to neatly top stitch them. Just a few tips and tricks if you've ever been scared of trying it. And as usual, if there's any recommendations or any tips that you want to share with the community, then please comment below. Nice comments only please, I am human. So yeah, I thought we'd just do it together. Today I am wearing the velour tracksuit top that I was really scared of making, and although I'm still not used to touching the fabric, do you know what? I do actually quite like this. I like the colour, I like the snuggliness of it, and I think it looks really good on. But I'm going to do a blog post soon about this jacket, but I don't think I'll have time this week because I'm off to the Handmade Fair. In fact, when this video goes out, I will already be there. So hopefully some of you will come say hi. And if you are going, enjoy yourselves, it's amazing. So yeah, blog post on this soon, and let's get on with making some pockets. So I have my pocket shape here, like this, and all I've done to start with is I've used my overlocker to overlock the edges. You can obviously use zigzag stitch if you want, and then what I normally do when I'm adding on pockets is I press down one line like that folded, and then I press it again that way just so I have a really neat line, and then I'll just pin this and then we'll move on to the machine. I hope the lighting's okay on this. So the first thing we're going to do is hem the top of our pocket. Now I know I showed you before that I've pressed it once and then I've pressed it again just to keep a neat line. So I'm just going to put a couple of pins in this. I'm not very good at pinning because I just hate it, so I only put a couple in, but if you want to be really neat and particular you can put in lots of neat pins to keep it nice and flat. Now on this one I have got some red thread because I want the line of stitching to be seen from the front. So I've got red thread in the top and I've put red thread in the bottom because that's what's going to be showing on the right side. And I've lined this up so that it's on a 15mm seam allowance. So I know this is hard to explain, but I've done my hem to a bit bigger than 15 so that I can keep it at 15mm on this pressed edge, knowing that it'll always sew on top of my hem there. So you might want to just practice measuring and folding fabric to make a rolled hem like this. But we're just going to do a straight stitch all the way from start to finish, and don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and the end as well. So first I'll go forwards, back and forwards again, and then I'll do this right to the end. Okay, so I've just used my iron again to press in all the edges by about 10mm, maybe a bit more, and this will create my neat finish for when I pin it to my item. So the next thing we're going to do once you've pressed the edges in is we're just going to pin it to the front of our garment. So now that I've pinned the pockets to the garment, you just want to make sure that there's equal distance either side, and that you haven't pinned the top, so that you make sure that you remember not to sew that bit up. And now we're just going to take it back to the machine and I'm going to show you how to do neat top stitching around the edge. Okay, so for the first line of stitching, you're going to use a 10mm seam allowance. Now that for me is just on the edge of your foot. It is easier to do this part using the edge of your foot on the edge of the fabric, just so you can see it, especially if you've got this in the way. Obviously you won't be able to see your measurements underneath, so hopefully the edge of your foot will be around a 10mm seam allowance. But what I'd like to do is start at the top, and you're just going to keep the edge of your foot lined up against the pressed edge of your pocket, and you're just going to sew all the way around. Then it will be far from the edge, but then it'll be the next step that we will go right on the edge. So just keeping that edge of the foot, stopping at the corners, turning it, and making sure this is always lined against the edge of your fabric. Now, once you get to the top of your pocket, you're just going to make sure that your needle goes right to the edge. Now, making sure that you watch where your needle's going, you just want to make sure that you're sewing right on the edge till you get to that corner point. So we're just going to do a few stitches to get us towards that very edge. And then you're going to sew all the way back round to the other side, but this time sewing right on the edge of your pocket, top stitching it as you go. And once you're at the top corner on the other side again, you just want to make sure that you join it up to your previous stitching and do a little reverse stitch over the very, very first stitches. And there you have it, a neatly top stitched pocket. Now if you don't like the thickness of the top stitching to be 10mm, then you can obviously increase it, and the way you would do this by not seeing your measurements is to use the side of your foot still, but you can use your machine to widen the stitch, so move your needle across. So it's the same button that you'd press to change the size of your zigzag stitching, but it will move the needle across to where you want it to be, and that way you can get your stitching a bit thicker. So there it is, my lovely top stitched pocket. I've just given this a little press and there we go. Obviously if you wanted to be really technical, I could have pattern matched this pocket to go on the top, but I just don't have time for that, and it still looks fun. So be as technical or as non-technical as you like. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this really quick video. If you have tried them after watching this video, please comment and let me know how you got on. And again, if there's anything that you'd like to share with the community, please comment as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next week for another video. Happy handmade, everyone!